Today we are comparing the Callaway Elyte Iron against the TaylorMade Qi Irons. So both sitting in this cavity back category. Looks wise, probably isn't that important if you're in this category, but I do think Callaway looks a lot better. TaylorMade have done a decent job, to be fair, with that look, but I do think that Elyte looks a little bit more premium. However, when you look at that playing position, they're both very different. For me, this Elyte head looks quite a small footprint compared to the TaylorMade. Bear in mind that Callaway do have the Elyte X as well, which is a bit bigger, but in this comparison, this Elyte club that is for a cavity back category is a little bit small in my mind. Let's put it to the test. We're looking for speed, we're looking for distance, we're looking for forgiveness as well. You're probably a mid to high handicapper looking for all of those things. Okay, so let's kick off with the Callaway Elyte Iron. So the big talking point with this iron is this 10x face. Okay, so it's an upgraded face for 10 times more sweet spots across the face. So essentially, pretty much wherever you hit it, you're going to still retain some decent ball speeds. Okay, so all around maximizing forgiveness of all areas of the face. As I said, for me, it just looks a little small for a sort of a higher handicapper. Spin was a touch low there. I felt better, but I must admit I do like the look of this. Yeah, some decent ball speed. As I said, spin wise, we have to be mindful of the loss. They're about sort of 29 degrees here, so it's a pretty strong loss. So the spin will reflect that a little bit. That was good. That felt nice. But again, yeah, 4,500 with the spin there. Ball speed 118, which is okay. Smidge heavy, but again, don't mind hitting a few off-center hits because we are looking at this type of golfer. You're probably a little bit inconsistent. You're probably looking for something that is really forgiving. Felt nice. Yeah, I mean, it seems to be performing well. Certainly when I'm fitting players, I might go for the X if it is for someone that's a bit inconsistent with the ball striking, but I think looks wise is really good. Performance so far has been good. Just felt a little bit left, but yeah, no, actually, surprisingly, still quite straight there. I thought I pulled that one a touch. Just cut that one a little bit. On the whole there, guys, I thought it was good. I thought, looks-wise, performance-wise is good. Is it the longest I've hit? Probably not, depending on what you're after. If you're after distance, I'm not so sure this is going to be the longest, but overall, really like it. Just be mindful of that sort of smaller footprint. Might be a little bit wary of that, certainly with, over 20 handicap or so, depending on your ball striking. If you would like a free swing analysis, simply follow me on Skillest. The link is in the description down below. You will get a full analysis of your swing, along with me demonstrating exactly what you need to work on, including some drills to help you reach your goals this year. Back to the video. Okay, so into this TaylorMade Qi, completely different from a looks point of view. Really big head, really sort of thick top edge on the head. It almost looks like it's going to be very easy to hit, which again, depending on you as a golfer, think about this video for your own game. Are you comfortable hitting that Elyte, or would you want maximum forgiveness? To me, this looks like it's going to be easier to hit. Right off the bottom there, 156 carry, a little bit short, but certainly testing the forgiveness on that one. Smidge heavy, but 171. Yeah, that felt great, 175 carry. Yeah, TaylorMade, they've done some work in terms of the sound, and you can sort of hear that, it doesn't feel too loud. Yeah, that one felt okay again. It's going to be interesting to see the numbers here, guys. I think, as for me, they're probably two different types in terms of, yes, the same category, but actually when it comes to the profile of the clubs, quite different. I felt good. Yeah, Certainly one of the better ball speeds there, 120, good ball speed. TaylorMade have introduced this flighted CG as well, which we've seen in their other models, essentially moving the center of mass at the bottom with the long irons to help it easier to get up in the air, and then it progressively shifts up the face again to help with more control. Okay, so quite a nice feature there, nice bit of tech just to help you optimize every club essentially. Felt good. Okay, just a couple more. Yeah, quite an interesting test that, guys. Definitely eager to see the numbers. I'd say TaylorMade probably felt a bit easier to hit. I actually hit both what to me felt quite similar, but I just think the bigger footprint, you know, if you're a high handicapper, you'll probably prefer that, you know, to give you that little bit of confidence as you're striking it. Okay, so dispersion wise, we've got the Elite in the white, TaylorMade in the orange. I think front to back Elite is better, and they are talking a lot about that downrange dispersion this year, but I think overall the QI looks a bit more central. You'd probably say the QI edges it ever so slightly, but only because really of those two right misses there with the Elite. Let's take a deeper dive into the numbers. Okay, so seem to be moving the QI a bit quicker, not sure why, wasn't consciously. That's probably reflected in the ball speed, 117.6 to 115.9. Launching quite similar, a little bit higher with that QI, potentially that flighted CG helping it get in the air a little bit. Spin a little bit higher with the QI, interesting. Distance not a lot, is there? 170 for 180 with the QI, 168.6 for 180 again. Side a little bit tighter as we thought with the QI at 18 feet and plus or minus 31 feet with the Elite. So yeah, if you are in the market for a cavity back club, for me, because of the forgiveness, bit bigger, slightly better performing, I would check out the TaylorMade Qi Iron.